My great-grandfather ran sheep, and I think drove them kind of all over the West. Came up with a bunch of sheep from Grantsville, Utah. 2,000 head of sheep he drove up, and he ran sheep in the area for a few years, and then bought our place in 1917. Got married, they had 2 kids and 1 on the way, and then both my great-grandfather and great-grandmother died in the flu epidemic in 1919. So my grandpa was 3 and wasn't ready to take over the ranch, but went and lived with relatives, and I guess by fortunate series of events, we still had the ranch when he came of age, and so then raised his family here, and my mom grew up here, and I grew up here a lot of the time, and so since 1917 we've been here. So we're a cow-calf operation. Historically, we ran about 100 head. After my grandfather passed away and I came back, our neighbor gave us the opportunity to rent his land next to us. And so during the time that I've been here, we've pretty much run 200 cows on owned and rented land, and kind of made that work. So we raise beef and sell our weaned calves in the fall to other producers that take them to finished before they land as good beef on people's tables. So I did most of my schooling in Calgary, but spent all of my holidays here with my grandparents. The place is in our heart, you know. As I've grown up and then kind of tried to learn different things about range management, you've got all these things to look after: the health of the cattle and the best way to put pounds on and breeding your cattle. But you've also got the base of the operation is the grass. And so you're trying to learn how to make sure that grass is going to be here and even make it maybe better over generations. And so we do rotationally graze. We kind of do a once-over system on the native grass. We do graze it fairly intensively, but then there are long rest periods between, and it's nice to see the grass grow back and the flowers and everything that's with it. And some things that the cows eat and some things they don't. When people have been here, biologists and things, they say that there's a lot of diversity in the pastures, and I guess maybe from a grass point of view, we would rather there weren't anything besides grass, because more grass, you can run more cows. But all of these other plants that are there in the pasture, I think they contribute to the health of the grasslands and the sustainability of it. It's what's been here for thousands of years, and I guess I buy into that notion that if we can kind of keep it like it was, it's going to be sustainable over the long term, so that other generations can raise cattle or livestock here, and you can enjoy the scenery, and there's wildlife and all of the benefits that not just my family but society enjoys by having healthy grasslands that are supporting people and their livelihoods too. I was probably at some meeting 20 or 25 years ago and started to pay a little bit more attention to what is a conservation easement and what is the Nature Conservancy. And like most people, there's a lot of stories that go around and some suspicion and some worry of what is this. But as I went to the source and tried to learn about it and talked to, there wasn't a lot of producers at that time that had experience with it. There wasn't that many easements out there in our area yet. But as I started to talk to people, I just learned that I guess it was in keeping with what I was hoping to do. I wondered if we might someday put an easement on, not because I was worried about what I was doing to the land, but I wasn't thrilled with the prospect of if we ever sold the land, my family sold the land, that it would be subdivided and turn into a bunch of acreages. I kind of wanted to stay a working ranch. The neighbor rents us their land, and 100 cow ranch is not, nobody makes their living off a 100 cow ranch really. It's pretty tough. And so being able to keep our ranch at 200 or more cows meant there's a possibility we'd eventually be buying land instead of just renting it. And so that was another reason why we looked at the easement as a way to get some income that we could use as a down payment on land, because otherwise I'm not sure we could have bought the land we bought. I'm pleased to know that whether it's my children or grandchildren or somebody else, that this land will be able to be operated like we've operated since 1917.